Okay, so it's from the New York Times Business. It says the top 1%, what jobs do they have? Explore the occupations and industries of the nation's wealthiest households. It looks like we have a table down here. I wonder, oh, I can zoom out further. Oh, I just zoomed out all the way. Okay. Construction, colleges and universities. Teacher, elementary and secondary schools. 59,362 people with this job live in households in the top 1%. Really? That's interesting. 0.9% of the 6.8 million people with this job are in the top 1%. So it's a very, very small percentage of people in the top 1% that are teachers. Miscellaneous occupations. So we can zoom in further. 29.3% of the 11,103 with this job are in the top 1%. So there must be like a large category. That's what the side says. Rectangles are sized according to the number of people in the top 1%. Color shows the percentage of people within that occupation and industry in the top 1%. So, security, commodity, brokerage, and investment. So that's the darkest. So if I zoom out, so there's nothing lightest in that category. Legal services. So there's nothing in like the lightest part of that. With 376,076 members, the largest single group in the 1% are those listed their occupation as a manager. Lawyers who work on Wall Street are twice as likely as those in general practice to make top 1%. Physicians who work primarily in the doctor's offices are somewhat more likely to make a cutoff, though all doctors are well represented in the group. Note, the chart counts the number of individual workers living in households with an overall income in the top 1% nationwide. So it looks like over here, you can zoom to different categories based on what it has listed. I wonder if there's anything else on this. School teachers don't earn enough to make the top 1% on their own, but may live in 1% households primarily through marriage. That does not shock me. I wonder what else. Registered nurses in hospitals. 19,986 people with this job live in households in the top 1%. Of the 1%, 1.1% of the 1.9 million with this job are in the top 1%. I wonder how much of that is true. Like this school teacher one where they're married into that top 1%, or if nurses actually make that much. I can full screen it. So I can view it as a full screen. Here's the doctors. This is what I want to look at. Doctor. 4,706 people with this job live in households in the top 1%. 3.6% of the 129,606 with this job are in the top 1%. I bet they're all within the top 1% on their own. Exit full screen. I don't like how that looks. So rectangles are sized according to the number of people in the top 1%. So what is, I don't understand what the light colors mean. People in the top 1%. Color shows the percentage of people within the occupation and industry in the top 1%. So does that mean that the lightest shows, okay, so shows what percent of people with that job that are in the top 1%. In the occupation, top 1%. So offices and clinics of physicians, 97,958 people with this job live in households, the top 1%. I'm still trying to figure out how to read this here. Rectangles are sized according to the number of people in the top 1%. So the size of the rectangle accounts for something. Number of people. So this is according to the number of people. So this big rectangle means that there's more people in it? No. Yes, more people in it, because this is 97,958,000, so number of people. And then the color is the percentage. So there's 1%, and then from 1 to 10, and then this brownish color here is the 10 to 20, and then the 20 plus. Okay, that makes more sense to me now.